Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports NFL Week 9 picks and predictions. We're looking at the best bets of the week. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, we're going to recap the previous week. We had a banger of a week in NFL. Overall record 7-2. So I'm going to recap these games really quick and then get onto the picks for Week 9. First one, we had the over in the Rams and Vikings game of 46.5. That was a winner. We had the Eagles plus 2.5. I think they ended up winning the game by like 20 points. We had the over in the Falcons game of 48.5. That one cashed. That was Atlanta and Tampa Bay. We had the Browns plus 9.5. They win outright on the money line. Jameis Winston is the truth. Baltimore Ravens pass defense is atrocious. Colts plus 6.5. This one was lucky, very lucky. I didn't watch the game, nor did I really see what happened. But with like 5 minutes left in the game, who were they playing? They'd have been playing the Texans. They had like first and goal, and they didn't score any points. Not sure how that happened, but we take it. Colts plus 6.5 hits. We had the Commanders plus 100 on the money line. Everybody's seen what happens in that game. Don't have to explain that. Then we had the Chargers minus a 7.5. That one was easy. Our two losers were the Vikings minus 3. They lose outright to the Rams. I think that was Thursday Night Football. And then we had the Seahawks plus 3. I think I have to stop betting the Seahawks. I like Geno Smith too much. All right, that is the recap for the week. Really good overall week for week 8. Let's keep it going and roll this into week 9. First game for week 9, we're probably going to be on the contrary side of what most people are betting. It's the Texans and the Jets for Thursday Night Football. I am taking the Jets minus 115 on the money line. We have a really tricky matchup here. I'm not surprised Vegas has the Jets favored. Houston's looking really banged up right now. So in that, we are going to bet money with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Texans have won 4 out of their last 5 games. They're 6-2 overall, but they have some serious injuries that are eventually going to become a real problem for this team. You have Nico Collins, who is on IR, and then we have Diggs, who is questionable for this Thursday night game. With how good this Jets secondary is, the Houston Texans cannot afford to be losing their wide receivers at this rate. Eventually, they are going to have nobody to throw the ball to. Collins is definitely out, and then if Diggs is out, your wide receiver 1 becomes rookie Tank Dell. That is not going to bode well. Although, for me, on a personal level, I have him in my fantasy league. So if that were to happen, I would not mind that. Aaron Rodgers is 12-6 straight up in Thursday night football games. He plays kind of well on primetime games that are not in the playoffs. If the Jets want any chance of salvaging their season, they are going to have to win this game. So I'm going to double down with a discount double check and get the Jets money line here for minus 115. I think it's pretty good value considering how banged up the Texans are. Next game. Somebody explain to me why the Browns aren't minus 4. This makes no sense. Chargers at Browns. The Browns are plus 2. How? Why? For what reason? Jameis Winston is the savior to the city of Cleveland. Sure, LeBron James, he was great, but Winston is the guy we need. LeBron James walked so that Jameis Winston could run. The Browns are winning this game, period, point blank, end of story. Neither of these teams are very good on offense. They're being ranked 24th and 30th in yards per game, with 326 for the Chargers, 298 for Cleveland. But majority of those stats for Cleveland come with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. The one game Jameis played at quarterback, the Browns had 29 points, 401 total yards of offense, and Jameis threw for over 300 with 3 touchdowns. So the Browns are a different team when Jameis is out there. Based on how poor the Chargers offense is, I do not think they're going to be able to blow the Browns out of the water with this game. Browns defense very good when they need to be. So I like the Browns plus 2. I think our offense is much better with Jameis, and our defense can 100% keep us in this game. I have no idea how we're not favored. All right, on to the next two. This is probably the worst matchup of the week. It's the Patriots and the Titans in a game literally no one cares about unless you have money on it, which I will. I am taking the over 37.5. Seeing an NFL total being in the high 30s, it's always enticing to bet it. I mean, not much has to happen for this game to go over. These two teams are coming off of weeks where their game scores totaled 47 points and 66 points scored. The Titans defense is ranked first in the NFL in total yards per game. However, they have allowed 86 points in their last 2 games combined. That is not very good. Actually, that's quite poopy. Patriots have gone over this number of 37.5 in each of their last 3 games played. Their total scores were 62, 48, and 47. I do not think either of these teams' defenses are currently playing well enough to keep this game under 37.5. You really don't need much for this to hit. Like, you don't. You have 2 quarterbacks, Mason Rudolph, Drake May. Either of them could throw 2 pick-sixes this game, or they could go for 300 yards. We have no idea what is going to happen. So for that reason, I will just be taking the over 37.5. Hope for some crazy stuff to go on during this game. Next game. This line also makes no sense. Dallas Cowboys at Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons minus 2.5. I am in fade mode of the Cowboys until they can prove they can win a game. Falcons, they've looked really solid recently, winning 4 out of their last 5 games. In terms of statistic for both of these teams, Falcons are better on both offense and defense. Falcons average 385 yards per game compared to the Cowboys, who average 345. And most of those yards are in garbage time. Just like the 49ers game, where the Cowboys scored 14 points in the last quarter, that is just the defense on the other team not caring if you go and take 4 minutes off the clock to get 7 points. They don't give a poop. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Dak Prescott, false quarterback. He's not good. All of the statistics he gets are garbage time. Cowboys have 2 straight games. They got destroyed by the Lions at home, had a bye week, then lost to a very injured 49ers team by 6 points. Prescott sucks. You know who doesn't suck? The Falcons. Give me the Falcons, minus 2.5. Don't overthink this. The Cowboys are awful. Next game, another game not to overthink. Give me the Cardinals, minus 115 on the money line. We are going to keep fading the Bears. If you lose the game on a Hail Mary, then you deserve to be faded for probably the rest of the season. That was by far the funniest ending to the game in a while. Cardinals coming off of back-to-back wins against the Chargers and the Dolphins. Granted, they're not the best teams. However, the Dolphins did have Tua back. So if you're able to beat a Dolphins team with Tua, I give you props. Cardinals offense, much better than the Bears offense. Cardinals are ranked 13th in the NFL, averaging 346 yards per game, compared to the Bears, who offense is ranked 27th, averaging just 324 yards a game. I still don't trust the Bears with Williams at QB. He's obviously still adjusting to the NFL. He's playing pretty good for a rookie, but I think Kyler gets him here. I like the home spot for the Cardinals, and this is another disappointing week for the Bears, I think. So give me the Cardinals at minus 115. Next game, another one of my favorite bets this week is the over 46.5. I'm going to pair that with the Lions minus 4. We got 2 teams who keep on winning. These offenses are 2 of the best in the NFL, being ranked 4th and 6th, averaging 406 and then 397 yards per game. The Lions offense has been monstrous recently, scoring in their last 4 games 42 points, 47 points, 31 points, 52 points. The Packers have also been really solid on offense, scoring at 24 points, 34 points, 24 points, 30 points. I'm not very good at math, but those are some high numbers. And if you get 2 teams who put up a lot of numbers, then this game probably goes over. It does not take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. The main reason why I'm taking the Lions minus 4 is I think it is very reasonable to assume that the Lions, like they always do, will get off to a lead early in the game. That is going to force Green Bay and Love to throw the football. The one thing Jordan Love not the best at this year, limiting his interceptions. He has 15 touchdowns, which is great. That's a great number to have almost halfway through the season. But he does have 9 interceptions. So if they go down by 14, 20 points, and they're forced to throw the football, he is going to throw an interception or 2. It is going to happen. He's been doing it all year. It's going to happen here. So that is why I'm rocking with the Lions minus 4. Now, if Jordan Love doesn't throw an interception and he has a great game, then the over 46.5 is almost a guaranteed lock to hit. So that's why I'm pairing those 2 together, betting them separately. I do not parlay anything. Parlays are dumb. All these are straight bets, but I'll be taking both of them as separate bets. Lions minus 4, over 46.5. Next game we're looking at, it is the Broncos and the Ravens. I am taking the over 44.5 points. We have the league's best offense while at the same time having the league's worst passing defense. After watching the entirety of the Browns-Ravens game in the previous week, I have realized the Ravens, one, suck at catching the football for the wide receivers, and two, their defense just sucks as much as their offense does when it comes to catching the football. Ravens are ranked first in offense in the NFL, averaging 462 yards a game, scoring 30 points a game on average. The Broncos are ranked 26th in offense, averaging 316 yards per game and scoring 21 points per game. I'm not great at math, like I said, but an average of 30 points plus an average of 21 points equals 51 points. And 51 is greater than 44 and a half. So I think we're good. Ravens defense has the last ranked passing defense in the entire league, giving up 291 yards a game through the air. However, they also have the best running defense in the league, giving up just 70 yards a game on the ground. So, the strategy for the Broncos to win this football game, throw the ball a lot and throw the ball often. I don't really like betting on this Ravens team that much as they're kind of confusing. Again, they rattled off, I think, 5 wins in a row and then just suddenly lose to a first game for Jameis Winston at the Browns. So for that reason, I'm not touching the spread. Spread's sitting at 9.5. I just don't trust the Ravens enough to cover that number with the worst pass defense in the entire league. So I'm just going to go with the over 44.5 in this one. Final game of the week for me is the Colts and the Vikings. I am rocking with the Colts +6. I am fading the Vikings until they can cover a spread. They have lost 2 games in a row. Their defense has not been playing well, so I'm just going to rock the Colts. They covered for us the previous week. Hopefully they can do it again here. These teams match up basically the same, looking at the offensive stats, being ranked 17th and 15th in yards per game, and that is at 340 and 345 yards per game. So we're not seeing that much differently offensively. They are also very similar in defensive ranking, 29th and 23rd in the NFL, giving up 395 and, wow, 3,760. That's a mistype. Giving up 376 yards per game. In the Colts' last 3 games, they have all been within this 6-point margin. They won by 6, lost by 3, lost by 3. So I think this game's going to come down to the end, just like all their previous game have. And the fact that the Vikings have lost 2 in a row, Sam Darnold's not looking the same as he did in the beginning of the season, and their defense is struggling very much to stop any semblance of offense from the other opponent. So with all that being said, give me the Colts +6 to wrap up this week. All right, I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. If you have not already, please hit that like and subscribe button as it does help me out a lot. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.